Hello, fellow Tarnished. I've been playing a little bit of the DLC, as I hope many of you have been able to, and I wanted to quickly talk about my experience with it thus far. I will be intentionally vague with this video, and I'll try and keep it short and concise as well, as to not provide any spoilers for those of you who either haven't played it yet or haven't made it very far. I myself haven't made it too far, but I wanted to describe my experience as I've made it so far. So the first thing I noticed is atmosphere. This DLC has a very strong sense of atmosphere, a very strong sense of danger. When I was maneuvering around the different landscapes, I was constantly worried about the different enemies that would appear. And just like the base game of Elden Ring, it's certainly got those one or two enemies that you come across and you're like, no, not you again, because they're annoying and strategic, but they're so much fun to fight. I also wanted to acknowledge the fact that jumping into the DLC truly felt like giving me the experience I had when I first played Elden Ring. I didn't think it was possible, but it truly feels like I'm playing Elden Ring for the first time again, except now I have the built-up skills that I've made throughout playing for several hundred hours. Taking a step past that, I also wanted to discuss, I am so glad that they've made a little bit of a shift in terms of combat and the focus for the DLC. I've noticed that different types of mechanics are becoming more relevant in the DLC, and they choreograph it very well what they want you to do. And I felt very rewarded for using the mechanics that seem like they're taking the star of the show when I'm fighting different enemies. I also couldn't help but notice that a lot of the enemies felt very tanky. And I mean this in the best way possible. They didn't just feel like sponges, but I could tell that they were meant to be more difficult and to be able to tank more damage, while also having unique or interesting movesets. The first mini-boss I found scattered in a random cave somewhere dropped a pretty cool weapon, and I wasn't prepared for it to be the weapon he was using. For whatever reason, I wasn't prepared, and it was a super good weapon. It's what I've been playing with for the most part, and it's been super useful. Something I was excited to see. I'm also glad that they added some more mechanics that are not based on leveling, but can impact your player's strength and ability. And these abilities will impact other aspects of the game. I'm not going to go into them, but it was a huge plus and something I really enjoyed. I have really thoroughly been enjoying the DLC. And the NPCs I've come across so far have made me very intrigued as to the story that lies within the shadow of the Erdtree. Not to mention the visuals and the beautiful graphics. The scenery is spot on. I really think that of everywhere in Elden Ring so far that I've seen, this is probably the most beautiful and well-crafted locations in the game. The last talking point I have is the enemy design. The variety of enemies that they've brought into the game, along with making them stand out in their own unique or different ways. Some different crafts of already creatures within the game, making enemies out of something that wasn't originally an enemy, or just unique styled enemies that are based on true creatures in the real world, are phenomenal. I really enjoy the enemy variety. I love that each enemy feels very different from another, and I tackle them in different ways depending on how the enemy was constructed and what it looks like I'm supposed to do against them. All things considered, I am really enjoying the DLC. I wanted to put out this quick video just to kind of give those of you who are unsure about the DLC or are just curious about other people's experiences my insight into the game. I am going to hop off so I can go play more of it, but I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope you're all enjoying the DLC, and have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there.